All right, so the Warriors lost. The oldest interesting team in the league is out. Minnesota, that's got some age, but much deeper, bigger roster, prevails pretty easily. Jimmy Butler only took 11 shots. Some of that is energy. Some of that was Kuminga had a lot of energy. Minnesota got great looks. All you had to do was look at the box score, and it tells you Golden State was tired. Minnesota shot 63%, dominated in the paint, had almost double the assists. They were moving very well. Julius Randle, 13 of 18 bully ball. The three best Warriors, Butler, Steph, and Draymond, all out of their prime. Two 35-year-olds and a 37-year-old, and they're only getting older. So all it took was a popped hamstring, and the house collapses. It's interesting, Jonathan Kuminga, who just doesn't work with Butler and Steph, he's great. He was great when Steph got hurt. So they'll be able to show that off, and he raised his market value. Because everybody has sort of understood that the Steph offense, that ecosystem, it's just not friendly to young players. You know, James Wiseman never got it going. Kuminga can't be on the floor with Butler and Steph. It just doesn't work. But he was the one guy last night that jumped off the TV. He was the one guy you looked at and thought, oh, he can go toe-to-toe with Minnesota's athletic bigs. So they'll have a market for him. And Pods is a guy you have to keep. He's got a market as well. But you're going to have to move off at least one of your really good young players. So the Warriors, to some degree, have become an antique store. And OKC is the Apple store right next door. And I think the Warriors are going to get worse every year unless they pull off a big, big deal for Kuminga. People are going to want Pods and Kuminga. They'll keep Pods. They view him as sort of a Steph, an emerging shooter that works with Steph. But I will say this. You know what it really reminds me of watching last night? So, Belichick took the hit for all of the shortcomings for the New England offense right before Tom left. But just consider New England and Belichick and Brady, the Warriors, Steph and Steve Kerr. They built a very high intellect, sophisticated offense, both Kerr and Curry and Draymond. It's very sophisticated. Young people struggle. And for years, everybody always said, well, why can't New England, why can't they draft a wide receiver? Well, some of it was, most of it was Belichick wasn't a good drafter. Some of it was Tom didn't want to babysit him. And so what you have the benefit of the brilliance of Belichick and the brilliance of Steve Kerr. You have the benefit of Brady and Steph. But these are so high-functioning, almost academic offenses, they don't play with kids well. New England didn't. That's why New England got old and slow really fast. Brady went young down in Tampa. And that's why when you watch OKC and you watch Indiana and you watch these young teams, Houston, and then you watch Golden State, some of it is on this offense that just doesn't play well with others under the age of 23 years old. That's what New England became. So I just think they're just getting a year older. I think all these Houstons, Indianas, maybe some degree New York still got some youth. Cleveland, I think those teams are getting better. I think the Warriors are getting older, but Steve Kerr is still a believer.
I know we had a shot. I know we could have gone the distance. Maybe we wouldn't have, but it doesn't matter. Again, everything in the playoffs is about who stays healthy and who gets hot. You know, are you playing well at the right time? Do you have multiple guys step up in key games, make shots? And do you have good health? And, you know, you see it every year in every series. And so there's a little bit of luck involved, you know, and we, like I said, we've been on both sides of that, and it's just part of it.
But I will say this, and I love Steve Kerr. Older teams get hurt more often, and older teams recover more slowly. And the Warriors are just getting older. There is a little bit of luck involved. But when you got Steph Curry running 2 miles per game on that treadmill for that offense, and he is so valuable, without it, not even the same looking, watching team. I mean, Warriors are a hard watch without Steph. So you could say there's luck involved, but remember, we all know this. The NBA and its helped ratings is allowing more physical basketball. What does that mean? More injuries. My guess, they will come to the older teams, not the younger ones. And I really do believe the NBA used to be go get 3 great players. The Heatles, KD, Steph, Clay. I don't think that's it anymore. I think the new CBA and the new aprons, it's all about roster construction. I mean, the Celtics are often, weirdly, as good or better without Tatum. I mean, like Oklahoma City's roster. I think San Antonio's is going to get very deep. Houston's already is. They just don't have a second dominant great scorer. So I just, Steve Kerr still believes it. You can talk yourself it's into luck, but the new style of playoff basketball is not going to aid. It's not going to aid the older rickety teams, 2 35-year-olds and a 37-year-old. So J-Mac, it is, I got into this discussion last night. LeBron's out of the playoffs. Steph Curry's out of the playoffs. The Celtics brand, I think, will lose to New York. They'll be out of the playoffs. Do you think Knicks, Pacers? I do. I think it's compelling. Do you think Oklahoma City, Minnesota? Like, I think these are really good series, but I'm more NBA diehard than the casuals. This whole thing about the NBA being rigged, you wouldn't have OKC and Minnesota in and Steph and LeBron out. Wow. What do you make of what potentially is our Final Four?
Yeah, the way I look at it is I talk to buddies, and they're like, hey, let's go out to hang out. And I'm like, well, there's an NBA Finals game, and LeBron's in it. I'm not missing that. I would be okay missing a conference finals matchup between Ant and SGA. Like, it's not mandatory viewing. Right. I mean, it's a great matchup, no doubt. I'm going to watch the games, but if something comes up, you know, you want to go to a Dodgers game? Sure, I'll go to a Dodgers game. But, Colin, it's not the sexy matchups that we want, right? If Curry's playing, I'm glued to the TV. LeBron, I'm glued. But SGA, I'm just not there yet. I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't make me an elitist.
Yeah. No, I think this is the transition. I think when Michael Jordan left, the league lost 50% of its numbers. But I do think I do think there's a little LeBron fatigue, where stylistically Curry is still a great watch. But I do think LeBron is an older player. I'm more fascinated, with Luka than LeBron, because I've seen all LeBron's game. Luka's growth, his cardio, lack of defense, bit controversial, part of a trade. So I don't think you're going to see a massive drop-off. I don't think the Warriors are what Steve Kerr believes, just bad luck away from advancing. I think they're just going to be a year older, and I think Oklahoma City, with all this experience, Indiana, they're just going to be better.
Don't forget the love-hate, the polarization. If you really love or hate LeBron, and that's what he is, you're going to watch. I just don't feel like anybody hates SGA. Nobody hates it. They haven't done anything to be hateable. LeBron's won a lot, moved around teams. People just dislike him. But I do believe, maybe there's that element with the Knicks, but they still have to pull it out, Colin. Are you sure they're a lock to win this series?
No.
All the pressure's on them.
Yeah, I'm not. Good points.